Hey everyone, Emmanuel here. In this section of the breathing, I'm going to talk about triangle breathing. So triangle breathing involves all three aspects. So you would have studied before this video proper breathing in and out. You would have also worked on breath holds. And now I'm going to show you some of the more complex versions of breathing. So it's known as triangle breathing. So triangle breathing involves an inhale, an exhale, and a breath hold. So we'll try a quick one right now just to kind of make the point. So I take, let's say I breathe in for 3 seconds. I breathe out for 3 seconds. I hold my breath for 3 seconds. And I would repeat this process. So the triangle breathing involves all three. So the in, the out, and the hold. In the shape of it, in the idea or the concept of a triangle. And you would apply that principle to everything. So you would do it to running, walking, sitting still, push-ups, squats, leg raises, any activity that you're doing. You think about all three parts of the breathing cycle and you work with them. So I would, like all things, in a sequential way, start with lying down, start with seated position. So let's try do one again, 5, 5, and 5. So 5, we're gonna do seconds now, just count it in your head. I'll kind of do it here. So I'm gonna start to breathe in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then breathe normally, okay? And of all the ones, triangle breathing is one of my favorite because it shows me so much in there about breathing, and the other way I like about it, to be honest with you, is that my main goal in this is to try and make the inhale, the exhale, and the hold feel the same, and that's interesting because the inhale I find a little bit of a labor, and the exhale I find a little bit of a relaxation, and then the breath hold I find a little bit irritating. So all three have their unique characteristics, and it'll be different for everybody. Some people will say different things, but what I try to do is make them all feel the same. So not like or dislike or one or other the parts of this. It gets real interesting when you get to 10, 10, and 10. And the varying exercises, especially with push-ups, so you might say, 10 push-ups breathing in, 10 push-ups breathing out, 10 push-ups holding your breath. Extremely hard, and it will push your breathing and it will strengthen your breathing, your psyche, so many parts of that. So think of triangle breathing as something that you'd add into your training at home now, which would be great. I mean, we're in the midst of the coronavirus here and everybody's just quarantined at home. This is great training to do it. I've made some other videos on this topic, but I've never explained it as much as I have now. So much like all the other aspects of breath work, this is a little bit more advanced. It's not necessarily better, but definitely a little bit more advanced. You want to make sure that you understand that you've been working with the proper inhale, proper exhale for a while. You want to make sure you've been practicing proper breath holds. And then naturally, you're going to combine all three together and try it. Very interesting concepts and very interesting ideas to work with. Now, there's no need in going into more depth. There's each one of us that does the triangle breathing, or any breathing for that matter, will feel different things depending on psychology and physiology and all those things. And it will vary even day to day. Some days I can get to 10, 10, and 10. Other days I can't. It depends on many factors in our life: diet, sleep, stress. All this will affect our breathing. And once again, it's not right or wrong. That's just how it is. There's no, don't try chalk things up to this is right and that's wrong. If you just work with it and you understand it, that's going to be good enough, as they say. You don't need to want more than those things. You can do so much with breathing, and I don't want to limit it by giving you what to expect. Maybe you can do some amazing things more than me with breathing. So please try this, and it's known as triangle breathing. Now, the other one, it's an offshoot of it, is square breathing, okay? And square breathing goes a little something like this. So I'll give you an example. I take, let's say, a 3-second breath in. I hold for 3 seconds. I breathe out for 3 seconds. I hold for 3 seconds. Again, challenging because now I'm adding a breath hold in between the in and the out. So you inhale a particular number, you hold, then you exhale, and then you hold. So you can see the diagram of a square. Again, super interesting. Very much like the triangle breathing, just a harder version, I think, without a doubt. And you can add it to running, walking, moving on the ground, push-ups, squats, leg raises, body raises, just sitting in a seated position. Again, no one will even know you're doing it. You can practice it pretty much anywhere you are. Again, it will have a different psychological effect with everybody that does it. I find that square breathing more challenging than the triangle breathing. Great way of understanding your breath and how to master your breath. Great starting points, and then the sky's the limit after that. You can, I guess you could do all the different shapes if you like, but I'm fine with square and triangle. Now, let me explain another offshoot where you can make this even more complex, where you start to vary the numbers. So I might say to myself, 5 seconds or 5 steps, whichever you're doing, but if I'm standing still, 5 seconds breathing in, so I'll do it right now. 2 seconds breathing out, 8 seconds holding. There we go. So you can mix and match those numbers. You don't have to, you can be super random. Getting a little bit more realistic, a little bit more dynamic. For those of you that are athletes or when we're training and we're wrestling, sometimes the inhales, the exhales, they don't match perfect, right? Like you do something and then you held your breath for a brief moment, then you start to inhale, then you got a chance to breathe longer. So it's much like real life. Nothing is ever ideal, but you're teaching yourself to be okay even in random situations. So again, I wouldn't start with the random. I would start with the consistent and then add some randomness into it. So you can play with those numbers till the cows come home, as I say, guys. You can play with them forever. It can even be like 1 second in, 10 seconds out. 5 seconds hold. And breathe. Like really play with those numbers. They can be as random as you like, but once again, I wouldn't start there. The random, I still remember classes where we would be running and our teachers would be yelling out, 5 in and then 2 out and 10 holding your breath, and the numbers would be all over the place, completely random. And what it did was it brought all your focus to the breathing, and the challenge, so the running, the walking, the moving on the ground became secondary because all your focus was needed to keep tabs on the challenges of your breath. And we need this focus when we're training with each other. Your breathing has to be like the number one thing that you remember. Because once you forget it, everything starts to break down very quickly after that. So we don't really have much to say more than that, right? Now, again, in different sports, you'll see what I mean. Like I watch some great basketball players. My son plays a lot of basketball, and I watch the guys taking a free throw, and how much you see them all taking a breath and how they're trying to calm themselves down. Learning how to utilize your breathing to get you up and how to get you down to the place where it's the most beneficial for you. Okay, there are times in a game that I need to be excited and I need to be sharp, and there are times I need to calm down. So see this basketball player, he's going down, he's trying to go for a dunk, he's going all his power, he's holding his breath, he goes up, he's about to slam the ball down, and on the way he gets fouled. When he takes his free throw, it doesn't look like that at all. He's like a big teddy bear, just trying to relax himself, and you know, everything is soft and breathing is constant and calm, and the free throw is so relaxed. He just came down like he's ready to tear the net off the backboard. But now, so you have to know when to use your breathing to benefit you, no matter what activity you're using. You might need power, you might need effort, and you also might need to use finesse and softness. Same as true martial artists. Sometimes we need a hard strike, and other times a kind word goes a long way, as a teacher and as a person as well. So we need to understand when we need to utilize these. So I hope you practice it, the triangle breathing and the square or box breathing. I've even heard it called box breathing or square breathing. Practice it, don't master it, just understand it, understand its effects that it has on you, and how to best apply it when you're training and in your life. Okay, this is the most important. You need to be able to translate what you work on yourself to real life, meaning home, work, and training, okay? Hope this helps, and I got some more helpful hints coming up in the videos to come. Take care.